Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Kim. This is Kim Reads and Reviews, and this is the Quick to Judge challenge. Monzi had tagged me in her video, and honestly, this comes at a perfect time. It's the beginning of July. I don't really have my TBR set, but what I do have is a whole stack of library books here that I'm pretty excited and intrigued to read all of them for different reasons. And I don't know which one I want to start with. The other thing is that I have recently just finished my last physical book read, and so now I need to move on to another one. So we're gonna pick from this stack of books from my library. Lots of really great options here, lots of books that I'm quite excited to get to. Now, the whole point of this challenge is to select, and you can do this too if you'd like, is to select a handful of books from your TBR, read the first sentence or paragraph in each of those books, rank them according to your intrigue based on that first paragraph or sentence, and then at the end, once you've read all of them, the one you're most intrigued to read, and the one that has the first paragraph that intrigues you the most, you read that one. And so I think this sounds really cool, and it's going to help me make some decisions. So we will hop right in. Now, the first book I have here is Pet by Catherine Chidgey. Now, Ellen over at LMA Book Club, this is one of her favorite books that she has read this year. And in talking with her through some of the comments, she had told me she thinks I would like this book. And so I was like, well, naturally, I am going to get it from my library and read it. It is a mystery, so let's read the first paragraph and see how that is. I know it's Mrs. Price, and I know it can't be Mrs. Price. That's what I keep thinking. My eyes are playing tricks on me, or the light is, or my memory is. For one thing, this woman looks to be in her 30s, which makes her far too young, apart from anything else. And yet she has the same wavy blonde hair, the same high cheekbones, even the voice could be hers. Now, if there was 3 buckets, like minimal intrigue, moderate intrigue, and highly intrigued, based on that first paragraph, I would probably have to put it in minimal intrigue to start. Because yeah, we're judging based on the paragraph, right? So minimal intrigue, but it sounds like the narrator is seeing someone that looks like somebody that she used to know, this Mrs. what was it? Mrs. Price. So we'll see. Okay, minimal intrigue. The next one is Swimming in the Dark by Thomas Jadrowski. I talked about this video in a reading chat before. It's a nice little short book. This has been on my TBR, my Storygraph TBR, for a very long time. So let's see if this is the month that I start with this. The good old library crinkle. Okay. I don't know what woke me up tonight. Not the branch of the chestnut tree knocking against my window, not Pani Kaleka coughing in the room next door. Not anymore. Maybe it was the ghosts of these noises, swept up by the wind, carried across the ocean to knock on my consciousness. Maybe. What I am certain of is this. My body feels depleted, like a foreign country after war, and yet I cannot go back to sleep. Oh. Okay. Well, that was, I really liked the writing in that. Yeah, I really like that. I would say somewhere between moderately intrigued and highly intrigued. That's what I would do, even though we didn't make up a category for that. But this is, how does that show go? Whose line is it anyways, is it? It's like where the rules don't matter and the points don't matter or make any sense. That's like half the rules I give myself in my videos, honestly. It doesn't end up mattering. Okay. The Stoneyard Devotional by Charlotte Wood. Again, I talked about this one in my last reading chat, so I've had it for a bit, a couple of weeks now, haven't read it, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. This was a Booker Prize shortlisted book in 2024. All right. Okay. Day 1. Arrive finally at about 3. The place has the feel of a 1970s health resort or eco-commune, but it is not but is not welcoming. Signs of fences or stuck on little posts by driveways, no entry, no parking. A place of industry, not recreation. I park in the nondescript spot near a fence and sit in the quiet car. The writing is really interesting. It's like very, almost like punchy. Arrive finally at about 3. The place has the feel of a 1970s health resort or eco-commune, but is not welcoming. Signs on fences or stuck on little posts by driveways, no entry, no parking, a place of industry, not recreation. I park in a nondescript spot near a fence and sit in the quiet car. I can appreciate kind of like punchy writing, I guess what I call it, like just kind of short and stammery, as long as it flows. That didn't really flow super well right off the bat, so minimal intrigue. But I would say if I'm ranking, I was more intrigued by Pet than by Stoneyard Devotional. Okay. All right. I should probably start stacking them actually. You know what? No. Yeah. We'll keep it like that. Anyways, okay. This next one. The Manor of Dreams by Christina Lee. I'm so excited about this one. I talked about this in a recent and upcoming releases video that I had done. It just sounds like it's going to be thriller, horror, like dark, gothic. Yeah, I'm excited about it. So I hope that the first paragraph lives up to, my general excitement for this. All right. August 2024, day 1 in the house. Nora Deng was informed of 2 rules before the reading of the will. The first was not to speak to the Yin family without a lawyer present. The second was to never go into the garden behind the Yin family house. Okay, so the way that this was like kind of structured was like, I don't know, kind of a paragraph, but like first few sentences, I suppose. I could keep reading, but I would say, okay, Nora Deng was informed of 2 rules before reading the will. The first was not to speak with the Yin family without a lawyer present. The second was to never go into the garden behind the Yin family house. Okay, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. I am. Because the whole book, what it's about is these 2 sisters. I think it's 2 sisters if I remember correctly. Pause. Let me refresh my memory here. Right, okay, yes, 2 daughters. Their mother passes away. They're expecting to inherit her manor, but then her manor goes actually to some extended family that they didn't even know existed and isn't really nice to them. So everybody, the extended family and these 2 sisters move into the house. Drama. So anyways, based on the first few sentences anyways, I would say I am intrigued, right? Like they aren't supposed to go in the garden in the back of the house, but that coupled with kind of like what I already know about the synopsis, like does intrigue me. So I would say that I am the most intrigued by this book. Next is Sleep by Honor Jones. This is also one I believe that I talked about in my recent and upcoming releases video. Let's see here. All right, first paragraph. Okay. It was damp down under the blackberry bush, but Margaret liked it there. She was cozy, like a rabbit. It smelled clean. It was funny how dirt could smell so clean. She couldn't see in the dark which berries were ripe, but she nibbled on one anyway. Puckered, spat. She rested her cheek against her arm and looked out across the yard. Okay, that was the first paragraph. I think... How do I feel about that? Moderate interest. Let me reread it again. Sometimes with more literary books, it's kind of hard to tell right off the bat. It was damp down under the blackberry bush, but Margaret liked it there. She was cozy like a rabbit. It smelled clean. It was funny how dirt could smell so clean. She couldn't see in the dark which berries were ripe, but she nibbled on one anyways, puckered, spat. She rested her cheek on her arm and looked across the yard. Yeah, I like that writing. I am intrigued. I am. Who knew that dirt could smell so clean? I would put it in same, maybe more interested, same level of interest as Swimming in the Dark. But am I more interested, intrigued by Sleep based on that first paragraph? You know what? I'm gonna have to reread the first paragraph of Swimming in the Dark. Yeah, I was more intrigued by Swimming in the Dark, but within the same category of like moderately intrigued. Okay. All right. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, a romance. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've talked about a romance on my, my booktube channel. Yeah, this I believe is like Sleepless in Seattle. Has anyone watched the movie Sleepless in Seattle? Is it Sleepless in Seattle? Yeah, Sleepless in Seattle inspired story. Has anyone seen that movie? I would say that like I found the movie okay. I didn't love it. I think it was during like an era where Tom Hanks and what is her name? Meg Ryan were doing a ton of romance movies together. And I think I enjoyed Sleepless in Seattle more than You've Got Mail. But yeah, I was like, I felt okay about Sleepless in Seattle. Anyways, okay, wonderful. Okay, I love romances where we get the male perspective and the female perspective as well. Like I really enjoy romances that way. And it looks like we're going to be getting both because we start off with Aiden. Okay, there's like a first sentence and then a paragraph. So I'm going to read the first sentence and that paragraph. Love is a lie. At least that's what the sign above the door tells me. It's written in large looping letters, little hearts dotted along the edges with a lipstick mark in the bottom left corner. It looks like a sign that should be hanging crooked in the hallway of a high school, not boldly declaring the decline of humanity during the morning rush at a coffee shop. Oh, I like that last sentence. Not boldly declaring the decline of humanity during the morning rush at a coffee shop. I like that. Okay. I think, okay, we gotta take stock. I'm stressing myself out. Gotta take stock. Okay, so The Manor of Dreams by Christina Lee. Swimming in the Dark. Okay, I think, oh my God, this is hard. Okay. I would have to put it over, because it's a different kind of book than these other ones I have here. Should I have picked all the same genre? No. But I am definitely overcomplicating this for myself for sure. Okay, I just need to not think about it. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. More than Swimming in the Dark, but Manor of Dreams. Okay, I liked it more. That last sentence of that first paragraph. Oh my God, I liked it more than Manor of Dreams. What? Okay, the last one. The Knaves by Florence Knapp. Okay. Oh, also, this is a Reading with Jenna book club pick, and I tend to really like the Reading with Jenna books. Like there was a couple of other ones. There's Mame, there was Nothing to See Here, and then I think that there was one other. And I consistently like their book club picks, so already got high hopes for this one. But we'll see. Okay, we got a prologue. October 1987. Cora's mother always used to say children were whipped up by the wind, that even the quiet ones would come in after playtime made wild by it. Cora feels it in herself now, that restlessness. Outside, guests lever at the fir trees behind the house and burst down the side passage to hurl themselves at the gate. Inside, too, worry Skitter and Eddie, because tomorrow, if morning comes, if the storm stops raging, Cora will register the name of her son, or perhaps, and this is her real concern, she'll formalize who he will become. Okay, so based on what I already know about the synopsis of this book, it's a pretty good paragraph for this kind of book and what it's supposed to be. But where do I rank it amongst everything? Okay, I need to reread it. Children were whipped up by the wind, and that even the quiet ones would come in after playtime made wild by it. Tomorrow, if morning comes, perhaps this is her real concern, she'll formalize who he will become. Okay, I mean, based on what I know about the book, it doesn't really tell me, pull me in that much further than what I already know about the synopsis. I would say minimal intrigue, but I would say, okay, less than pet though. All right. So our ranking. All right. I'm overcomplicating this. I already know that I am. All right, so we got first time caller. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to make this really easy on myself. So these three, minimal intrigue. So we're just going to put these all kind of mixed in at the bottom of the pile. There. Oh my God, my hand. These are the top four, with these two. I don't know which one I'm more intrigued by. Okay, let's read first time caller again. Love is a lie. Little hearts dotted along the edges and a lipstick mark in the bottom corner. Okay. Yeah, definitely intrigued. And then this one, I remember this one. It's like the first three sentences, like 2 rules. Don't speak to the yin family without the lawyer present, and don't enter the garden. Which already like sets the stage for like spooky possibilities, like this haunted manor maybe. Like, what's in the garden? You know, you tell me, what's in the garden? I could just find out. Okay, swimming in the dark. I don't know what woke me up tonight. Not anymore. Maybe what I am certain of is this. Like this sentence. What I am certain of is this. My body feels depleted like a foreign country after a war, and yet I cannot go back to sleep. Like, that's intriguing. That's really intriguing. Oh gosh. How do we do tiebreakers? I need parameters. I don't... Okay. I've decided I'm going to read a little bit more from each one. I am making this way more complicated than what I need to. And I know that I am. Okay, so I'm going to read the second paragraph of first time caller. There are streamers too, red and white and dangling from the hanging baskets by the window. They twist back and forth violently every time someone slips in from the street, relaxing back to their sad, wilted loops as soon as the door shuts again. Okay, so got some nice descriptions there of the coffee shop scene a little bit more. I do like the setting of the scene that's described in there. Okay, so we're going to read a little bit more of Manor of Dreams. Nora didn't argue when her mother told her these rules. She didn't say much on the 1.5-hour drive from their home in San Bernardo out west to Vivian Yin's estate. She'd already exhausted her questions days ago when Ma shared over dinner that a former actress named Vivian Yin had died and that their family was included in the will. It was the first time Nora had ever heard Vivian Yin's name. A quick search on her phone at the dinner table revealed that she was a Chinese-American actress who was known for her movies in the 80s. She even won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in a movie called Fortune's Eye. Okay. I would have to say that still falls below first time caller. Okay, now swimming in the dark. This is supposed to be quick to judge, and I am not doing a very good job at that. I like context. Like, I need context. I want nuance behind things, and so, I don't know, maybe I'm not being quick enough, I don't think. Okay, this is swimming in the dark. I think of you, the face that my memory can conjure up with its rough outlines and fine details, with the gray-blue eyes of the same color as the Baltic Sea in the winter. I think of your face while I get up, while I move in the darkness from bed to window, clothes lying around the floor like unfinished thoughts. And then I recall yesterday evening, and the chill of it makes me stop in my tracks. The radio was on, song hour like every day after work. Something light was playing. I can't remember what. I was standing in the kitchen looking for coffee when the music stopped. Oh my god. Like, some of this writing makes me really intrigued to kind of keep going. While I move in the darkness from bed to window, clothes lying around the floor like unfinished thoughts. How do I like the mood of that? I really like that so far, actually. The second paragraph has definitely made me more intrigued to kind of keep going there. I would say based on that paragraph, I'm more intrigued by that than the Manner of Dreams. Okay, so we got Swimming in the Dark and First Time Caller. Goodbye, Manner of Dreams, for now. All right, we're going to read the next paragraph in Sleep. Okay, so if you remember, she was laying in the blackberry bush. A whoop and a stampede, the boys were running by. They must have spotted Biddy, the bright spot of the flashlight world. It made her dizzy trying to follow it. Hammock, grass, basketball net, grass. The flashlight made a photograph each time it hit something. Little circles of backyard punched out of time. I do really like the way that this writing is like painting a scene, but I'm definitely way more intrigued by these two based on the additional paragraphs that I've been reading. Or paragraph, not paragraphs. Don't worry, I'm not cheating that much. Okay, quick to judge. Okay. Oh, if I could only extend, like hypothetically, quick to judge. Okay, quick to judge. Why is this so hard for me? This is really, really difficult. Okay, quick to judge. Okay, if we're doing quick to judge, I would say I was more intrigued by the tone of this. Some of the writing was really intriguing to me. I definitely wanted to keep going. Like some of those sentences I thought were really beautiful already within the first paragraph, and it definitely made me want to keep reading. So, oh my God, I made a decision. Okay, so this is the ranking actually. Okay, so we got Swimming in the Dark. I'm reading this. This is the first book I'm reading in July. First brand new physical book that I'm reading in July. Second, First Time Caller. And you know what? If I'm kind of, not that this was intentional, but now that I think about it some more, I feel like Swimming in the Dark is potentially going to be a bit of a heavier one. So this is going to be nice to have as kind of like one to read after, if I can get to this by the time my library is notifying me that they need it back. So, because a lot of people, this is kind of a popular read right now, so a lot of people are going to be wanting to read it. Then, Sleep by Honor Jones. I liked the writing in the first couple paragraphs in here. It really intrigued me. I liked the kind of imagery that the author was painting, the descriptions behind things, the descriptions of like laying in this blackberry bush really intrigued me. So this would be third. Then we've got Manner of Dreams by Christina Lee. Yeah, I think there's definitely potential for this kind of like, it doesn't feel very gothic so far, but I think that the fact that the main character isn't allowed to go into the garden, this garden that they're talking about, that intrigues me. So I want to know what that's all about. Then would be Pet. Now, I'm a little bit biased because Ellen really liked this book and told me that she thinks I would like it. And so I definitely would place this kind of like in the middle of the pack a little bit. So I think we'll get to this when we get to this. And then would be The Names by Florence Knapp. Yeah, the first paragraph didn't really intrigue me much further than the synopsis, what I already knew about this going in. So, and then Stoneyard Devotional, least intrigued. I would put this in the same category as like The Names by Florence Knapp. Didn't really give me too much to feel super intrigued, but I do want to read it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that. Okay, so that's the ranking. That's that. I did it. I made decisions. I'm a very indecisive person. I naturally am in my day-to-day life. I'm going to tag a few people. It's beginning of July, so hopefully who I tag maybe hasn't fully decided their July TBR yet, but if they have, then they can do this in August. I think this was a really fun way to kind of just like get a quick first impression of a book, decide if I'm super intrigued or not, and then go from there. But I am definitely really excited for Swimming in the Dark. I think it's going to potentially be something beautiful, maybe. but we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are enjoying what you're reading, and I will see you in the next video.